Hello Dhamma class, my name is Sumya Pei. My Buddhist name is Chita Bali, which means the regarder of mind. Today is a Dhamma class of January 14th, 2023. We have Dhamma classes every Sunday at 4 p.m. AZ time and 3 p.m. Pacific time. The Zoom ID is 413-460-4622 and the password is Buddha20 with all lowercase letters. Today's Dhamma class consists of Part 1a, Offerings, 5 Precepts, Virtues of Dhisarana, Metta, and Meditation, Part 1b, Adhitthana, Mindfulness, Wish and Sharing, and Part 2, Chantings, Recitings, Buddhism, and Praying Book Translations. The substitution for this week will be made through Joel. Before we start off, I will be sharing some rules and regulations. Please do not eat or drink during praying time because it is very disrespectful. Praying time is only 15 minutes, so please be mindful and respectful. If you are hungry, please remember to eat before praying next time. Do not mess around and stay still during part 1 of today's Dhamma session, and make sure you are centered in the middle of your screen. And if your camera is off, you will be removed from the meeting, so please keep your camera on at all times. However, if you're not a part of the Dhamma class, you're free to turn your camera off at any time. Everyone who is chanting part 1a and b, please chant clearly and slowly since other people will be listening or chanting. We also believe you'll do very well. To those reading the substitutions or part 1a, please try to join the Zoom meeting at least 5 minutes early. So everyone will start off with offerings, so please put your hands together.
Rana Sarapatitena Dipena Tamadamsina Tiloka Dipam Sambudam Pujayami Tamonudam Wanaganda Kunopitam Etam Kusuma Santatam Pujayami Munandasa Siripada Sararuhe
Adivasi tu no bede Paniyam Breka Bedam Anokambam Upadaya Pitikana Tuatumam Adivasi tu no bede Bojana Breka Bedam Anokambam Upadaya Pitikana Tuatumam by one time.
Ogata, 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 Kayaka, Wazika, Manoga, Tapadota, Katinto, Piedogo, Yapazete, Atonga, Patana, Patama, Tadia, Tachi, Nature, Domjimia, Payayirina, Tayayirina, Tangayirina, Irinamia, Tomba Dogo, you ate ale amia lasamoye siko bozo manso kadoba asempaya kadoya to ajo ajong apeleba katomba yapieseba atomyongaba vipatitia leba piadnatia ngaba doma kakati kilomiti piedwe matea potea nimbantea domiago Yabalo is Sampaya for one time.
Ahamba de Disaranena Saha Pancha Silam Damanyatami Anokaham Gatawa Silam de Tame Bande Dudiyampi Ahambande Disaranena Saha Pancha Silam Damanyatami Nokaham Gatawa Silam de Tame Bande Tatiyampi ahambande disaranena saha pancha silam dhammanyajami nokam katawa silam detame bande hamabande namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami, Dudiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dudiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Dutiyampi Sangam Saranam Gacchami. Tatiyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Tatiyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Tatiyampi Sangam Saranam Gacchami. Amapande.
Panati Pada Viramani Sikapadam Samadhiyami Adina Dana Viramani Sikapadam Samadhiyami Kamesu Michachara Viramani Sikapadam Samadhiyami Musawada Viramani Sikapadam Samadhiyami Sura Miraya Masha Maratana Viramani Sikapadam Samadhiyami Ama Bande Bhavan.
Iti piso bhagava arham sama sambuddho vichacharana sambano sukhato loka vidu anutaro purisa dhamma sarati satha deva manusanam buddho bhagava. Swakato bhagavata dhammo sanditiko akaliko ehipasiko opaneyiko pachatam veditabo vinyuhi.
Supatipano Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Ujjupatipano Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Nyayapatipano Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Samichipatipano Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Yaridam Jatari Purisa Yugani Ata Purisa Bugala Esa Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Ahuneyo Bahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaneyo Anuttaram Bhajyagitam Lokasa Bhavantam.
Aham awero homi. Abhyapajo homi. Aniko homi. Sukhiyatanam pariharami. Mama matapitu. Acharyacha. Nyati mitacha. Sabramacharinocha. Awara hontu. Abhyapaja hontu. Aniga hontu. Sukhiyatanam pariharantu. Amakam arakatewata. Imasamim awase. Imasamim arame. Arakatewata. Awera hontu. Abhyapaja hontu. Aniga hontu. Sukhiyatanam pariharantu.
Sabe Sata, Sabe Bana, Sabe Buddha, Sabe Bugala, Sabe Tapa Pariyapana, Sabe Saba Itio, Sabe Burisa, Sabe Arya, Sabe Anariya, Sabe Dewa, Sabe Manusa, Sabe Vinipatika, Awera hontu, abhyapaja hontu, anika hontu, sukhiyatanam pariharantu, dukkha muchantu, yadalata sampantito mawigachantu, kamasaka.
Puratimaya Disaya Dakinaya Disaya Pachimaya Disaya Uttaraya Disaya Puratimaya Anudisaya Dakinaya Anudisaya Pachimaya Anurisaya, Uttaraya Anurisaya, Hetimaya Disaya, Uparimaya Disaya.
Sabe Sata, Sabe Pana, Sabe Puta, Sabe Pugala, Sabe Atabawa Pariyapana, Saba Itio, Sabe Purisa, Sabe Arya, Sabe Anariya, Sabe Dewa, Sabe Manusa, Sabe Vinipatika. Awera hontu, abya paja hontu, aniga hontu, sukyatanam, pariharantu, dukkha muchantu, yata lada sampatito, mawikachantu kamasaka.
Buddham yawa bhavagacha ado yawa avichito samanta chakawalesu yesanta vata vichara abhya bhajani viraja nidukacha nupadawa Buddham yawa bhavagacha ado yawa avichito Samanta Chakawalesu Yesanda Urake Bhajara Abhya Bhajani Viraja Nidukacha Nupadawa Udam Yawa Bhavagaja Ado Yawa Avichito Samanta Chakawalesu Yesada Akase Chara Abhya Bhajani Viraja Nidukacha Nupadawa Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Now we will be learning how to meditate by Dasinjo, Sarah, Sumyape, and Himapali.
What is meditation? Meditation is a way to keep the mind cool and calm by concentrating on one object. There are multiple ways to meditate, but in our Dhamma class, we primarily study anapanasati and body scanning meditation. In anapanasati, a natural focus would be your own breath, which is always with you. If you simply keep feeling the breath as it comes in and as it goes out, the mind gets quieter and more peaceful. In body scanning meditation, you scan your whole body from head to toe, from the front and the back. The only trouble is, something will always try to take your attention away. Maybe a noise or a pain in the knee, but often your own mind is the problem. It is so full of useless stuff. Like a monkey jumping here and there, it is so hard to control. To become the master of your mind, you need some lessons, enough time, and a good place to learn how to practice. With enough practice, meditation helps to replace bad thoughts and feelings with happy ones.
Why do we meditate? By learning how to control the mind, we start to get rid of negative habits and develop good mental qualities instead. If your mind is cool, you make good decisions, you don't get confused, you make less mistakes, you don't get angry or feel afraid, and you become more confident. If your mind is calm, you become peaceful and happy, you are less worried and frustrated, you don't get stressed about work or exams, you develop compassion and kindness, and you have more harmonious relationships. If your mind is concentrated, you get less distracted by useless things, you find it easier to focus and learn, you perform better in sports and games, you make better music and art, and you become more trustworthy.
We are now going to practice guided muscle relaxation meditation. But before we start, can everybody please close their eyes? Step 1. When I say a group of muscle, focus on the group of muscle you hear and feel the tenseness in them. Step 2. Mentally relax those group of muscles. Step 3. Feel those muscles completely relaxed. Let's start. Your scalp muscles, all the muscles on your head, are relaxed. Your forehead and eyebrows are relaxed. Your eyes, ears, nose, lips, and chin are relaxed. Your neck and shoulders are relaxed. Your arms, forearms, wrists, hands, and fingers are relaxed. Your chest and upper back are relaxed. Your abdomen and lower back are relaxed. Your hips and thighs are relaxed. Your knees and legs are relaxed. Your ankles, feet, and toes are relaxed. Now your whole body from head to toe fully relaxed. We are going to advance to Anapanasati meditation. You are going to focus on your breath. When you breathe in, a puff of air touches the tip of your nose. Make yourself aware of the touch. When you breathe out, a slightly warmer puff of air touches the tip of your nose. Make yourself aware of the touch. We are going to practice counting technique with each cycle of in and out breath. You will count from 1 to 8 and do not let your mind wander. If your mind wanders out, start counting from 1 again. We are first going to practice together. Breathe in, aware of the touch. Breathe out, aware of the touch. 1. Breathe in, aware of the touch. Breathe out, aware of the touch. 2. Breathe in, aware of the touch. Breathe out, aware of the touch. 3. Breathe in, aware of the touch. Breathe out, aware of the touch. 4. Breathe in, aware of the touch. Breathe out, aware of the touch. 5. Breathe in, aware of the touch. Breathe out, aware of the touch. 6. Breathe in, aware of the touch. Breathe out, aware of the touch. 7. Breathe in, aware of the touch. Breathe out, aware of the touch. 8. Now go back to 1 and start counting on your own. We are now done meditating.
Dukkha patacha ni dukkha, vaya patacha ni vaya, soka patacha ni soka, hontu sabe pipanino.
Nahi Varana Varani Samantita Kuda Janam Avarana Cha Samanti Esa Damo Sanantano.
Sababasa akaranam kusula supa sampada sachita paryodapanam etam bodhana sasanam.
Maranami duvam jivitami aduvam idami ponyam nibanasa pacheyo hotu imam ponya bagam sabasatana bhajema sadhu 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 about one time.
It is now part 2 of the Dhamma class, and before we begin, these Dhamma classes are important for our lives, so please be respectful and do not eat anything, but drinking water is now fine for this part. Substitution for part 2 is by Matthew Joel, and now we'll be moving on to program 1, Chant of Mahajaya Mangala Gata by Suizin Tenzin, Shasha, May Cindy, Lin Lin, Team Hankima, Hazel, Kama Bali, Alexander, and Kishing and Shinki.
Mahajaya Mangala Gata Bahum Sahasrana Pinimita Sayudantam Kiri Mekalam Udisa Goram Sasena Maram Danadi Dhamma Vidina Chitawa Munendo Tam Tejasa Bhawatute Jaya Mangalani.
Maratireka Mabiyujita Sabaratim Goram Panalawaka Maka Matada Yakam Kanti Sudanta Vidina Jitawa Munindo Tam Tejasa Bhawatute Jaya Mangalani.
Nala Girim Kajawara Atimata Bhutam Dawagi Chaka Masaniwa Sudarunantam Metambu Seka Vidina Jitawa Munindo Tam Tejasa Bhatote Jaya Mangalani.
Ukita Gaga Mabihata Sudarunantam Dawam Tiyojana Patanguli Malawantam Idibi Sankata Mano Jitawa Munendo Tam Tejasa Bhawatute Jaya Mangalani.
Gadwana Gata Mudaramiwa Gabiniya Chinchaya Dota Wachana Janakaya Maja Santena Soma Vidina Jitawa Munindo Tamte Jasa Bhavatute Jaya Mangalani.
Satyam Vihaya Ati Satyaka Vadaketum Vadabiropidamanam Ati Andabuddham Panyapadipat Jalito Chitoa Munindo Tam Tejasa Bhavatute Jaya Mangalani.
Nando Pananda Pujakam Vividam Mahitim Pujana Tera Pujagena Dhamma Payanto Idu Parisa Vidina Chitawa Munindo Tante Jasa Bhavatute Jaya Mangalani.
Duga Diti Bujagena Sadatahatam Brahmam Visuddhi Juti Mahidi Bhaka Bhidanam Na Jnana Gajena Vidina Jitwa Munindo Tante Jasa Bhuatu Te Jayamangala.
Etapi Buddha Jaya Mangala Atakata Yo Wajako Dine Dine Sarante Matanti Hitwana Neka Wiwitani Chupatawa Mokam Sukam Atikameya Naro Sapanyo.
One time. And now it is Program 2, Essential Teachings of Buddhism, first by Riley and Andrew, then by Evelyn and Caden, then by Methu Deepa Alexander, then Pia Bala, Gina Bala Noel, and then by the Zinjal and Helen L.
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Riley, and my Buddhist name is Dhamma, which means medicine of truth. And today I'm here with my dear twin brother, Andrew. So, Andrew, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Andrew. My Buddhist name is Dhamma, which means the power of truth. So, Riley, what are we sharing with our dear Dhamma friends today?
Today we'll be talking about the Four Noble Truths, and please listen carefully because we will be asking questions at the end. I'll start. The Four Noble Truths are essential teachings of Buddhism that explain important things about life and how to find happiness. They were first taught by Siddhartha Gautama, who later became known as the Buddha, around 2,500 years ago. Here's a simple explanation of the Four Noble Truths for kids.
Number 1, dukkha, the truth of suffering. This truth tells us that everyone experiences suffering or unhappiness in life. It can be big or small things like getting hurt, feeling sad, or being disappointed.
Number 2, samudaya, the truth of the cause of suffering. This truth helps us understand why we feel unhappy sometimes. It says that our desires and attachments, wanting things to be a certain way or not wanting things to change, can cause suffering.
Number 3, nirodha, the truth of the end of suffering. The good news is that suffering can come to an end. This truth teaches us that by letting go of our desires and learning to be content, we can find peace and happiness.
Number 4, magga, the truth of the path to the end of suffering. This truth shows us the way to stop suffering. The Buddha taught the Eightfold Path, which includes things like being kind, telling the truth, and being mindful. By following this path, we can live a more joyful and fulfilling life.
So, the Four Noble Truths teach us about the nature of suffering, its causes, and how we can find happiness and peace by living a good and balanced life. Buddhists use these truths as guide to understand life better and to bring more happiness to themselves and others. So, Riley, can you please ask your question?
My question is to Matthew Joel, what is samudaya?
The truth of the cause of suffering.
That is correct. Andrew, can you please ask your question?
My question is to Deepa, who taught the Four Noble Truths around 2,500 years ago.
Siddhartha Gautama.
That is correct. Riley, what is your final question?
Matthew, what do the Four Noble Truths explain?
They explain important things about life and how to find happiness.
That is correct. Thank you for listening.
Now it's Evelyn and Caden's turn.
Hello to my class, my name is Evelyn and my Buddhist name is Sacha Bali, which means truth keeper. Today, my dear brother will be joining me, so Caden, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Caden and my Buddhist name is Sita Bala, which means power of smiling. So, Evelyn, what are we going to be talking about today?
We'll be talking about the Four Noble Truths too. And we will be asking questions after, so please listen carefully. I'll go first. The Four Noble Truths are important teachings in Buddhism that help us understand the nature of suffering and find a way to overcome it. Here's a friendly explanation for our Dhamma kids.
1. The first truth is that there is suffering in the world. Suffering can be big or small, like getting a boo-boo or feeling sad. Everyone experiences suffering at the same point in their lives. The second truth is that suffering has a cause. It's not just random. The cause of suffering is our desires and wants. Sometimes we want things so badly that we feel upset or disappointed when we don't get them.
3. The third truth tells us that there is a way to end suffering. It is possible to find peace and happiness by letting go of our desires and wants. This doesn't mean we can't have goals, but it's about not getting too attached to things or always wanting more. 4. The fourth truth shows us the path to end suffering. It is called the Eightfold Path. It includes things like being kind to others, telling the truth, and paying attention to our thoughts and actions. By following this path, we can find inner peace and live a good life.
So, the Four Noble Truths teach us that suffering exists. It has a cause, it can end, and there's a way to end it by following the Eightfold Path. It's about understanding ourselves better, being mindful, and finding contentment in the present moment.
Now we'll be asking questions. So, Matthew, which teachings can help us understand the cause of suffering and how to overcome it?
The Four Noble Truths.
That is correct.
Deepa, what is the cause of suffering?
Desire and wants.
That is correct.
Matthew, is suffering evitable or inevitable?
Inevitable.
That is correct.
Deepa, is it possible to find peace and happiness?
Yes, by letting go of our desires.
That is correct. Thank you for listening.
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Mithija. My Buddhist name is Bada Bali, which means spirited keeper. Joining me today is my dear Dhamma brother, Deepa, and my dear Dhamma friend, Alexander. So, Deepa, please introduce yourself.
My name is Deepa Ong and my Buddhist name is Tejapala, which means lucky keeper. Alexander, please introduce yourself.
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Alexander, and my Buddhist name is Uju Bala, which means power of honesty. So, Matthew, what will we be talking about today?
Today, we'll be talking about dukkha sacha. So, everyone, please listen carefully because when we're done, we'll be asking the class some questions. So, what is dukkha sacha? Dukkha sacha is an important concept in Theravada Buddhism, and I'll explain it in a way that's easy to understand. In Buddhism, dukkha sacha is known as the truth of suffering. But wait, what is suffering? Well, suffering means not just physical pain like when you get a scrape or a headache, but also the bad feelings we have inside, like sadness, anger, or frustration. It's like when you really want a toy, but you can't have it, and it makes you feel unhappy.
Dukkha Sacha teaches us that everyone experiences suffering in life. It's a part of being human. But the good news is that Buddhism helps us understand suffering and finds a way to deal with it. The Buddha who started Buddhism wanted to find a way to end suffering. He taught that by understanding the causes of suffering and learning how to let go of certain things, we can find peace and happiness.
So, Dukkha Sacha reminds us that it's okay to feel sad or upset sometimes, but we can learn from these feelings and work towards being happier and kinder to ourselves and others. Life has ups and downs, but with understanding and compassion, we make our journey a little smoother. That's the wisdom of Dukkha Sacha in Theravada Buddhism. We'll now be asking questions.
My question is to Alexander. What does dukkha sacha teach us?
It teaches us that everyone experiences suffering in life.
That is correct. Deepa, please ask your question.
My question to Methu is, What is Doka Sacha like?
It is like when you want something but can't get it.
Alexander, please ask your question.
What can Buddhism help us with? And this is directed towards Deepa.
It can help us learn and rise from these negative feelings.
That is correct. Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Noah, and my Buddhist name is Manapala, which means power of personality. So today, I'll be joined by my Dhamma friends, Biapala and Jinapala. So Jinapala, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Ryan Hong, and my Buddhist name is Gina Pala, which means power winning. So Pia Pala, can you please introduce yourself? Hi, Dhamma class. My name is Kevin Hong, and my Buddhist name is Via Pala, which means power of love. So, Noah, what will we be sharing today?
Today we'll be so Jinapala, could you please start?
Hey, everybody, please listen because we will be asking questions in the end. What is Samudaya Satya? Samudaya, which is also known as the truth or the origin or the truth of the cause. Let's break it down in a way that's easy for kids to understand. Samudaya Satya is all about figuring out why things happen. It helps us understand the reasons behind the problems or suffering we experience in life. According to this truth, there are specific causes or reasons that lead to things happening. Imagine you have a big tree in your garden, and one day you see that the leaves are turning yellow and falling off. Samudaya Satya will ask, why are the leaves turning yellow and falling? To find the answer, you might discover that the tree is not getting enough water or nutrients from the soil. This lack of water and nutrients is the cause or origin of the leaves turning yellow and falling off.
In our lives, we face various challenges and problems. Just like the tree with its yellow leaves, Samudaya Satya encourages us to look deeper into the reasons why these challenges occur. By understanding the causes, we can work on finding solutions to overcome difficulties and suffering we encounter. Understanding Samudaya Satya helps us become wiser and make positive changes in our lives, just like taking care of the tree that it can help grow healthier and stronger. It is an essential part of learning and growing on the path of Buddhism. So now we'll be asking questions. So Gina, could you please ask your question?
Dizinjo, what are the two things Samudaya is known as?
It's known as truth of the origin and truth of the cause.
That is correct. So Biapala, can you please ask your question? Hayla, what is something everyone faces in their lives?
We all face various challenges and problems.
That is correct. So Noel, can you please ask your question?
My question for this intro is, if you ever saw a tree with yellow leaves that were falling off, what would Samudaya Satya ask?
Samudaya Satya would ask, why are these leaves turning yellow and falling off?
That is correct, and that is all. Thank you for listening.
Now it's Hayla and Dizinjo's turn.
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Thazinchua. My Buddhist name is Jana Bali, which means part of concentration. Today, a Dhamma friend of mine will be joining me. So, Hema, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Hema, and my Buddhist name is Sukha Bala, which means power of happiness. So, Tazija, what will we be talking about today?
We will be talking about what Nirodha Satya is. Everybody, please listen carefully because I will be asking some questions in the end. I will now start first. What is Nirodha Satya? Nirodha Satya is a very interesting concept in Theravada Buddhism. Let me explain it to you in a simple way that kids can understand. So, Nirodha Satya is all about understanding that there's a way to stop our suffering by letting go of our desires and attachments. When we learn to do that, we can find true happiness and peace in our hearts. Just like when you stop wanting a particular toy so much, you can feel content with what you have and be happy.
Nirodha Satya and Nibbana are similar, but meaning is slightly different. Nirodha means the cessation or ending of suffering, while Nibbana is a state of perfect peace and enlightenment. Both are about inner peace and being free from suffering. Even though it may not always be easy, learning about Nirodha Satya and practicing it can lead us to a happier and more peaceful life. Buddhism teaches us valuable lessons that help us grow into better and kinder individuals. Now we'll be asking questions, so Dazinja, could you please ask your question?
Noel, what is Nirodha Satya?
It is the end to our suffering.
That is correct. Hinla, could you please ask the next question?
My question to Gina Bala is, what is Nibbana?
Nibbana is a state of perfect peace and enlightenment.
That is correct. So Dazinja, could you please ask your last question?
Gina Bala, how can we stop or end our suffering?
By letting go of our wants and desires.
That is correct. Thank you for listening.
Now it is program 3. Choose the correct one of the given answers by Team Hank and Hema.
Hello, my name is Team Cho. My Buddhist name is Santibala. And today we'll be and my twin siblings will be joining me. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name is Hema, and my Buddhist name is Samapali, which means peacekeeper.
My name is Hank, and my Buddhist name is Sudabala, which is the power of knowledge. Today we'll be asking 8 questions, and the individuals Dazenjo, Mei Cindy, Shinki, Kishin, AJ, Amy, Hazel, Kamapali, Mintaong, Alexander, Shasha, Victoria, and Sarah will be answering questions. So, to start off, Dazenjo, in Buddhism, it is believed that everything in the world is always A, changing, or B, unchanging.
A, changing.
That is correct. Mei Cindy, there is no permanent, unchanging soul inside us. Yes or no?
A, yes.
That is correct.
Shinki, when someone practices meditation, they can reach the state of A, Panya, or B, Samadhi.
B, Samadhi.
That is correct. Kishin, with Panya, Buddhists can see that everything in life is always A, unchanging, or B, changing.
A, changing.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is B, changing.
AJ and Amy, Buddhists believe Buddha was a human being who became enlightened, but not a god. Yes or no?
Yes.
That is correct. Hazel, every action and every thought we have, good or bad, will or will not come back to us in the future.
A, will.
That is correct. Kamapali, offering light symbolizes the aspirations to dispel ignorance and understanding in our lives. Yes or no?
Yes.
That is correct. Mintaong, offering of light represents Buddha's A, concentration, or B, enlightenment.
B, enlightenment.
That is correct.
Alexander, in Buddhism, it's believed that everything in the world is always A, changing, or B, unchanging.
A, changing.
That is correct. Shasha, there is no permanent, unchanging soul inside of us. A, yes, or B, no.
A, yes.
That is correct.
Victoria, when someone practices meditation, they can reach the state of A, Panya, or B, Samadhi.
B, samadhi.
That is correct. Sarah, with Panya, Buddhists can see that everything in life is always A, unchanging, or B, changing.
B, changing.
You are correct. Thank you for listening.
Now it is program 4, translation of Mangala Sutta by Johnson and Mintejal. by Johnson and Mintejo.
Hi there, my class. My name is Min, and my Buddhist name is Ayabala, which means the power of longer life. And today we'll be doing another translation of the Mangala Sutta, and I'll be joined by Johnson. So, Johnson, please introduce yourself.
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Johnson. And my Buddhist name is Japala, which means the power of winning. So me and Min are going to be doing translation of Mangala Sutta, and we're going to be looking at book 1, verses 9 to 12. So everyone, please make sure that you guys have book 1 out and you're on verses 9 to 12. And the individuals that me and Min will be asking are Shinten, Andrew, Deepa, Dezin, Swizin, Noel, Evelyn, Linlin, Maythu, Hema, Tiffany, Sumyape, Juju, and Kaden. So again, everyone, please make sure you have book 1 out and you're on verses 9 to 12. And Min, can you please start us off?
First, I'll be doing English to Pali translation. So, Shintan, if you're here, do you know the Pali word for being patient?
She's absent.
Oh, she's not here. Okay. Andrew, if you're here, do you know the Pali word for the Dhamma?
Dhamma.
That is correct. Thank you. And Deepa, if you're here, do you know the Pali word for happiness?
Mangalam.
That is correct. Thank you. And Devin, if you're here, do you know the Pali word for does not flutter? It is in verse. That is correct. Thank you. And Fuizin, if you're here, do you know the Pali word for beings are undefeated? It is in verse 12. The answer is Ma Parajita, but thank you. And Noel, if you're here, do you know the Pali word for spiritual people? It is in verse 9.
Samanana.
That is great, thank you. And Evelyn, if you're here, do you know the Pali word for noble? It is in verse 10. The answer is Ariya, but thank you. And Johnson, can you please continue?
All right, so I'll be asking from Pali to English. So Linlin, if you're here, can you please tell me the meaning of Soa Jasata? It'll be in verse 9.
Speaking kind and gentle words.
That is correct, thank you. Maythu, can you please tell me the meaning of Samananan?
Spiritual people.
That is correct, thank you. Hema, can you please tell me the meaning of Galena? It'll be in verse 9.
At the proper time.
That is correct, thank you. Tiffany, can you please tell me the meaning of Dasanam in verse 10? So the answer is perceiving. Sumyape, if you're here, can you please tell me the meaning of Arya Sachana? It'll be in verse 10. So the answer is noble truths. And Juju, can you please tell me the meaning of Loka Damehi? It'll be in verse 11.
Worldly conditions.
That is correct, thank you. Kaden, can you please tell me the meaning of Gachanti? It'll be in verse 12. So the answer is gain. And that will be all for translations of Mangala Sutta. Thank you for the individuals that joined me, and thank you, Min, for joining me too.
Now it is Program 5, Translation of Okata book by Sumyepe.
Hello everyone, my name is Sumyepe. My Buddhist name is Chitta Bali, which means the regarder of mind. Today I will be asking for translations of Okata book, page 5. The people I have with me are the Zinjo, Minte Ong, Andrew, AJ, Amy, Hazel, Team, Keishing, Yento Ong, Shasha, Alexander, Benji, and Victoria. So, the Zinjo, what does Dhamma mean?
Is the teaching?
That is correct. Minte Ong, what does Sango mean? Okay, so it means it's a community. Andrew, what does Uchupati Bano mean?
Forthright in conduct.
That is correct. AJ and Amy, what does Ehi Basiko mean? Okay, so it means inviting investigations. Hazel, what does Nawa mean?
9.
That is correct. Team, what does Jatari mean? Okay, so it means 4. Kishing, what does Sawaka mean?
Can you repeat that?
What does Sawaka mean? On page 5.
It means well taught.
Close, it means of disciples. And then Yento Ong, what does Supati Bano mean?
Wholesome in conduct.
That is correct. Shasha, what does Veditapo mean?
To be comprehended.
That is correct. Alexander, what does Bachata mean? Okay, so it means individually. Benji, what does we knew he mean?
Otherwise,
That is correct. And then Victoria, what does Yugani mean?
Pairs.
That is correct. That is all for today, and thank you for listening.
Now it is reciting book 1 and 3 by Metu and Deepa. So everyone, please have book 1, page 11 ready. I'll be asking these individuals, Sarah, Chloe, and Valerie. So everyone, please get book 1 ready and go to page 11. So Sarah, can you please unmute your microphone and introduce yourself to the class, like how old you are and where you're from?
I'm Sarah. I'm 11 years old and I'm from California.
Thank you for joining us today, Sarah. Can you please read the offering of light on page 11?
Gana Sarabhatitena Dipena Dhamma Damsina Tiloka Dipam Sambudam Pujayami Tamonudam.
Thank you for reading. You did very well today, Sarah. And Chloe, can you please unmute your microphone and introduce yourself to the class, please? Like your age and where you're from.
I'm Chloe and I'm 7. I'm from California.
Hello, Chloe. Thank you for joining us today. Can you please read the offering of water on page 11? Ariwasitu.
Adivasitu no pante paniyam parikapitam anukampam ubadaya padika na udamam.
Thank you, Chloe. You did very well today. Thank you for joining us. And Valerie, can you please introduce yourself to the class, like how old you are and where you're from?
Chef set.
So everyone, please go to book 3, and I'll be asking these individuals, Kamapali, May Cindy, Hank, and Hema. I'll be asking the Kanda Sutta. So upon page 4. So Kamapali, can you please read Kanda Sutta verse number 3? Virupakehi.
Could you repeat that?
Kamapali, can you get book 3 and go to page 4 and read Kanda Sutta verse number 3?
Virupakehi metam erapa dehi me chapaya budehi metam kango dhamma makehi cha.
Thank you, Kamapali. You did very well today. May Cindy, can you please read Kanda Sutta verse number 1?
Kanda Sutta Sabasi Visa Dadinam Sibamanta Gadamiya Yamna Seti Visangoram Sasanta Parisayam.
Thank you, May Cindy. You did very well today. Hank and Hema, can you please read verse number 2 of Kanda Sutta?
Anaketam hi sabata sabada sabapanina sabasopi nivareti paritam tam panamahe.
Thank you, Hank and Hema. You did very well today. Thank you, my individuals who read today. So Deepa, please ask your individuals.
Everyone get out book 1 and go to page 13 and 15. And the people who I'm asking are Nono, Alente, Shasha, Victoria, AJ, Amy. So, oh, okay. Alente, can you please read verse 1 and 2 on page 14?
Ahu Dewa Manusanja Mangalani Achintayum Akankamana Swatana Brohi Mangala Mudamam Asewana Jabalanam Mati Kananja Sewana Putaja Pucha Niyanam Eda Mangala Mudamam.
Thank you, you did very good. And Alexander, can you please read verse 3 and 4 on page 14? Oh, my bad. I mean, Shasha, can you please read verse 3 and 4 on page 14?
Patirupa desa wasocha Pubecha kata punyata Ata sama paniticha eta mangala mutama. Bahu sanchancha sipancha vinayocha susikito. Subhasita cha yawacha eta mangala mutama.
Thank you, you did very good. And Victoria, can you please read verse 5 and 6 on page 14 and 15?
Mata pitu upatanam putadarasa sangaho anakulacha kamanta eta mangala mutamam. Dananja Tamachariyaja Yatakananja Sangaho Anavajani Kamani Eta Mangala Mutamam.
Thank you, you did very good. And AJ and Amy, can you please read verse 7 and 8 on page 15?
Arati virati papa majapana cha sayamo apamado cha tamesu etam mangala mutama Gauravo cha nivato cha santuti cha katanyuta kalina dhamma savanam etam mangala mutamam.
Thank you, you did very good. That is all. And thank you for everyone for participating.
It is now the end of the Dhamma session, so everyone please mute your microphones and put your hands together and chant with me. Buddha Sasanam Jiram Ditatu. May the Buddha's teachings last long. Buddha Sasanam Jiram Ditatu. May the Buddha's teachings last long. Buddha Sasanam Jiram Ditatu. May the Buddha's teachings last long. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That is all. Thank you for joining us today.